Everybody loves the story of an underdog, someone who comes from behind, such a feat, victory from the jaws of victory. Sorry. My favourite underdog story happened in the Winter Olympics, Salt Lake City 2002. Involved none other than our very own Stephen Bradbury. You see, he found himself quite luckily to be in the men's 1,000 metre speed skating final, when with about 100 metres to go, he was in distant fifth position. And the top four skaters collided into each other, causing a massive pile-up, and he skated around them to claim the victory. He was the first person in the Southern Hemisphere to win a Winter Olympics gold medal. He was immortalised on a postage stamp and rewarded with an appearance on Dancing with the Stars. And more importantly, he made it into our vocabulary. To win as a result of miraculous circumstances, despite being in a losing position. Now, I've got my own personal Bradbury moment to share with you. And that moment, that story starts in front of a computer. You see, from a really young age, I was really into computers. So much so that I was convinced that there was an inverse relationship between your computing ability and your sporting ability. So the better you were at computers, the worse you were at sports. And I was totally fine with this relationship. You see, later on in life, I became a coder. So I was coding by day, all day long, drinking fizzy drinks, eating chips, sitting on my butt. And I was totally fine with this. However, this all changed one day when in a meeting, all my fellow work colleagues came to that meeting talking about training for this one race, this race from Sydney to Bondi with a massive hill in between. 14 Ks of running, they said. Of course they were talking about Sydney surf. And the thought of doing that race just stuck with me all day long. So much so that when I got home, I dusted off my old pair of shoes to go for a run around the block. And the first 200 metres, I felt fantastic. I felt like a gazelle. I felt unleashed. I just felt, wow, this is so easy. And then I hit the wall. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dying. I thought I had a heart attack. I thought, oh my gosh, have I written out my will? However, my breathing slowly returned. I turned around and walked home. I remember that day. I had a playlist of 30 songs. And I was still up to that first song only, Eye of the Tiger, up to the dut bit. However, I went again the next day. Eventually I could run 1K, then 2Ks, then 5Ks, 10Ks. Eventually I could do 14Ks. I did that city surf that year and I finished it. The most amazing thing happened at the end. This lady, she put a medal around my neck. I said, thank you so much. And she said, relax, everyone gets one. I gradually moved on to doing half marathons. And soon enough, I had a whole entourage of people around me tell me with my running. I had a running coach tell me how far to run. I had a physio tell me through injuries. I had a dietitian tell me what to eat. I had running friends and running groups, everything you could possibly want in the running world. Then something happened to me one day, a year ago, out at Centennial Park. I signed up to do a marathon out there. And then when I rocked up, I looked around me. And there were only a handful of other participants. So you see, a marathon is 42 Ks. That day, everyone else had signed up to do an ultra, which is anything greater than 42 Ks. So they signed up to do 50 Ks or 100 Ks. And the way I describe this race to people is it's kind of like playing Super Mario Kart. You see, you get to do 12 laps at Centennial Park. Wow, amazing. You can't cheat like in Mario Kart. You can't throw shells at people, knock people over, do that kind of stuff. And when the race started and I was counting the laps in my head, something weird was happening. People were slowing down and dropping out. And by the last lap, I was in front. So I absolutely bolted like I'd stolen something. I was going so fast, or at least in my mind anyway. And when I came in first, I was ecstatic, over the moon, on top of the world. I was like, oh my gosh, I've won a marathon. And I looked down at my watch and then I looked at the finishing time. It wasn't even a personal best. It wouldn't have been good for the top 50% of a normal marathon. And then I thought back to something that Stephen Bradbury had said when he won his gold medal. He said he won not for the 90 seconds of racing he did that day. He won for the 12 years of hard work he put in beforehand. And maybe I was the same. Maybe I was being rewarded for all the hard work I put in beforehand. And maybe this is why they give out running medals all the time at running races. Not for winning or losing, but for all the unconditional hard work everyone puts into their running. I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. If you've ever had any inclination to go running, firstly, go home and sober up. No one ever runs well drunk. Wake up tomorrow morning and lace up and go for a run, because you never know where that journey might take you. You also never know when you'll find your own Bradbury moment too. Thank you.